Assalamu Alaikum everyone. Welcome back to our live. So welcome back to our Monday night live. Actually, it's not a Monday night live because we are recording.
That's right.
Early. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So we're welcoming Mr. Roslan.
Yes.
So actually today we will discussing about our economy,
as usual.
Yes, as usual.
Stories about what's happening in Malaysia.
Yeah.
How shall we prepare for it?
For the first, maybe I would like to share like Selamat Hari Raya Aidiladha for all Malaysian, especially Muslim.
Yes.
In Malaysia.
Selamat Hari Raya Aidiladha.
Because we just celebrate yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday.
You sure?
Yesterday, Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
So actually today is public holiday also.
And then why you come to work, Labo?
Hey, actually we just want to maintain our life.
Right.
So we're regular.
Actually, Tuan Roban, he's a machine. It's a holiday today, and he's so excited to work. So I think it's a very good traits in the young people if you can have this kind of attitude. Inshallah, you'll be very successful. Inshallah.
So maybe Mr. Roslan want to share what we are doing.
Yes, okay. For those of you who just joined us, Al-Falah Wealth, thank you for subscribing to our channel. And this channel is actually for the young people. We share all of our information with regards to the well-being of young people, young adults. And we are targeting those who actually not sure about what to do with their lives, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to share my experience, Labo's experience, and then we combine our experience together and we share information. By no means that we are an expert. We are not an expert in economy, but we just have to read, and that helps you because you are busy, right? If they are busy, then let me do all the reading, and I'm reading all this technical information and stuff like that, and I'm sharing in the nice, nice and smooth information, okay, for you guys. Okay, so Tena Koto Katoa again, Kia ora, and good evening, selamat datang, welcome.
Kia ora means?
Oh, I've already told you last week.
Maybe our new.
Kia ora is like hello, it's like that. Basically, it means like you have good health. It's like a prayer for someone. It's in the Maori language actually. Okay, Tena Koto Katoa is how's everybody basically. Okay, so anyway, today, because it's holiday, I kind of like, I'm not sure that I'm going to do this today or not, but anyway, I will just share some of the information I've gathered. Inflation actually is everywhere. Okay, I've seen some
it's
of
not Malaysian because some people always angry with our government.
That's right. Yeah, yes.
Always increase.
Actually, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Because recently I've listened to an interview with New Zealand. I'm not sure the central banker or I can't remember. But they're also saying that they're having the same problems everywhere in the world, and that reminded me of the video of our finance minister gave a speech, being interviewed in World Economic Forums. That was in May, I think. So I had a look again at the video, and maybe there's some information that I find interesting that I can share with you today. So the main thing is the World Bank is expecting that most of the countries in the world will have inflation. So it is a new pandemic. Basically, inflation is a new pandemic, and we have mentioned this in December 2021. We've predicted that.
We have predicted because of pandemic and also coronavirus.
Yes, and not to mention because of the the supply chain got disrupted, right? You remember
few 1 or 2 months.
Yes,
because people not sure what's going on.
Exactly,
what people doing.
And also in China, they stopped work because of pandemic, and therefore all these goods they're stuck at the ports. If you remember that, so those are the things that are giving effect right now. Okay, so it's not going to be smooth, and this year we've got a few things that we have to share with you so that you can get ready. With our information, maybe you can make some wise decision that is, okay. So I just want to share about Malaysia. Unemployment rate is still pretty high. We're not having an unemployment rate back to the usual before pandemic. It's still very high, Before that it was lower, and now it's coming down, and currently it's about 640,000 unemployment. Okay, about that. And another information that I've read is that the Federal Reserve of Atlanta okay, in the US, they have predicted that there's going to be a recession in the United States. If the United States having recession, then it's not going to be a good sign for the global economy. Okay, so those are the information that I'm going to share with you. And then, generally speaking, we are worried about stagflation.
What's mean?
Okay, I'm not an economist, but I'm just sharing with you. Inflation means there's a rising in price. Okay, and the price can be because of the, what do you call it, pull factor, and the push factor. Okay, the pull factor is because of demand. We've got extra cash everywhere, we start buying things and the price starts to be inflated. But the push factor is because from the manufacturer side, okay, the
they
price
are holding the goods, or?
not necessarily. That's because they're passing on the cost. Okay, the cost of materials increase, so they actually increase the price. Okay, so that's actually called the push factor. So the way people handle this, we have also made a YouTube video on this. The way the government handle this is by increasing interest rate to avoid inflation. To reduce inflation, they increase the interest rate, and they do it slowly, maybe by 25 basis point. They call it basis point, 0.25%, like that. Okay, they call it 25%. They call it 25 basis point. But last Wednesday it was 50 basis point. So now the OPR of Malaysia is around 2.25%, right? Yep. So the idea is to contain the inflation. The problem is going to be like this: if in the event that the interest rate keep increasing, but the, what do you call that, the price of goods is not coming down, the inflation doesn't come down.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
so the inflation is still maintained around,
the inflation is still maintained and sustained at that rate, higher rate, for example. But the interest rate is increasing. Interest rate increases will cause the GDP to be slowed down, the growth of economy to be slowed down. So when that happens, inflation rate is high, growth is low. They call it stagflation. It's like a stagnant economy, and stagflation is not very good situation to be in, basically. Okay, so there are several things that the government are doing right now. The governments around the world, they are doing a lot of things right now, and it's very interesting to see Tengku Zafrul discuss this during the World Economic Forums, and these are the things that I want to share with you guys. Okay, sorry, what I was saying. Department of Statistics of Malaysia has warned of persistent inflation because the jobless is still high, still at 3.9%. Okay, so Department of Statistics Malaysia, I think Dato' Uzair, I think his name is, has warned, maybe the Finance Ministry or whatever lah. Okay, and after that, in March this year, I've read an article by Ayhan Koze. Okay, I think it's a German. Okay, Ayhan Koze is actually the CEO of World Bank. Okay, and he wrote a journal. Okay, as interesting. He said in that journal, he warns the emerging market and developing economy, people like us, basically. Okay, we are in emerging markets, to focus on calibrating their policies with macroeconomy stability in mind. In other words, what he's saying that the government of basically like Southeast Asia, okay, we have to plan carefully, and we have to make the plan clear to the rakyat. And interestingly, our Minister of Finance responding very well, actually. This is my opinion. Tuan-tuan dan puan, you can actually visit, I strongly urge you to visit Ministry of Finance website, and you can download laporan laksana. Okay, laporan laksana now, they have started to do this in 2020 during COVID. So almost last time, it's almost every week they produce this report, so they are actually updating us what's happening in Malaysia. So I suggest the young people download that. Okay, you know what are the information for you, and then you know what to do. Can we get some help of funding? It doesn't really matter whether you're working or you are doing business on your own. You have got potential to get some funding from the government, because they are throwing around $80 billion for the subsidies, and 40 billion for small business. Okay, for this year, this is based on the budget of 2022 last year. Okay, so these are the things that I think that our Minister of Finance has been doing very well. Basically we are on standby mode lah, Labo.
Yeah.
You know, standby mode just in case anything
Because we are
goes
not
wrong.
sure which one is the good decision. Either
Yes.
this one or
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
So we are following.
Yes.
We also looking other countries what they are doing.
Yeah,
The good-
yeah, we're actually observing as well.
Observing,
Yeah, correct. Yes, correct, Labo. And then the most important thing for us is actually to keep our country stable. This is our job because our currency is getting slightly worse. It's gone down to 442. Okay, it was about 440, but now it starts to increase again. Okay, I mean dropping. In other words, you know, $1 US is 442 now, so it doesn't look good. But I hope the country is still stable, and I hope they will. This is my opinion entirely. I hope they're not going to do any general election. But this coming weekend, Registrar of Society is going to make decision whether or not UMNO's application
I see.
still waiting. And I actually want the UMNO people to vote, for the what do you call it? For the president of UMNO and so forth, rather than voting for the government. It's best for the UMNO to get stable first, because UMNO is actually holding the large portion of the political decision here. So it's probably better for them to have election, in my opinion, to stabilize the nation.
Election for the UMNO.
Yeah,
only.
for UMNO only.
Yeah.
I'm talking. It sounds like I'm what do you call it? Sounds like I'm commenting on political issues. I'm not doing that. I'm actually saying things because political issues and economic issues, they are always intertwined.
Yeah.
Okay, they're interrelated. So as for me, I'm apolitical. I don't support any party at all. I've never been any member of any party in my whole life. And sometimes recently, I think in recent 5-10 years, I've decided not to vote actually because I got fed up. So anyway, we need a stable government, and I think the government is doing their best. I think our Prime Minister is doing his very best, and is making quite a good decisions. In my opinion, in terms of investment decisions, we are actually depending on what the political policies of the government. So when the policy is actually being done, we see the market response. And what we see is it's not terribly excellent.
Yeah.
But it's not so bad either. So I think this is something that our nation should be bersyukur, should be grateful about. As long as we don't have political interference by those other people,
But someone think that that current Malaysia is worse. What do you think?
Current state of Malaysia can be
not
worse. It can be worse. But comparing with other nations, for example, Malaysia is not excellent. That's of course. Okay.
Not we cannot say excellent.
Well, we cannot say we're excellent, but we're not bad either.
Yeah.
We're not
just,
bad. Maybe on average,
On average.
Okay. So and then when we compare with some people in New Zealand or Australia, they're suffering inflation at a high level. Basically, you just imagine people like New Zealand, they're importing fuel, and the fuel is a lot more than in terms of ringgit, it's around 6-7 ringgit a litre. Well, the currency is strong, yes, but still it's expensive because that's the what do you call it, the farthest country out of the shipping. When they transport things, New Zealand is way okay. So the cost of food, cost of everything is going to be expensive because of transportation costs, right? So you just imagine. I must admit too, but New Zealand Prime Minister is excellent. I mean, since those days, since I was student long time ago, like Helen Clark, and David Longy, those are Labour Party. Okay, they're always concerned about their people. So now Jacinda Ardern is also from Labour Party, and which I support basically. It seems like they always care about their people. But I don't know about in Malaysia. I'm saying that even though they're caring a lot about their people, still their people still suffering because of the inflation. Cost of living is gone up, the rental rate is gone up, and things like that. So the housing cost is actually slightly dropping right now in New Zealand because of has reached its peak. Okay, so that's basically my update on the economy. Is that all for today, Labo? What do you think?
So we just discuss about there are lots of challenge, there are a lot of problems. So how like us, like other peoples, to maintain their. Sometimes we heard about people like what do you call bunuh diri, something like
Yes,
people
suicide, okay.
suicide,
Yes.
and then how we are going to like maintain our happiness during this time, because some
Yes.
people maybe have depression
Yes.
because of the current
That's
situation
very
in
true.
Malaysia.
That's very true, Labo. I mean, depression,
Yeah.
it affects almost everybody. That's to be honest, even for us. I mean, we're running a business. We've got some businesses working, some businesses actually stagnant. We're not very pleased with our situations, and that can cause some kind of unhappiness, right?
Unhappiness.
But there are ways that we can handle this. Mainly, if possible, speak to your friends. You have to open up. Okay. If you feel upset about something, you don't have enough funding, etc., etc. You need friends to talk to. Okay. And of course, if you're married, your husband and wife, and if you cannot maneuver this, still you have to talk to somebody. Don't be embarrassed to talk about this, and you have to try your best to have a good friend whom you can trust. Okay. Sometimes friends can help. Okay. And it's also for some people who's already depressed, they need to see counselor, psychologist or counselor. So I strongly encourage them to do that. But for those of you who can handle, I'm trying to share some of my experience through a course called Cari Ketenangan. These are the tips that I've been using for myself. Okay. The problem is when you are sad because you don't have enough money, or you don't have good relationship, or any causes. There's only one enemy that's who can cause a major havoc, and I think you know that. It's called Shaitan. Okay. Shaitan. There are many sheikhs right around. The sheikh this, sheikh that, but this one is called Shaitan. Shaitan itu Shaitan. Okay, Satan. In English you call it Satan.
Evil.
Okay, yes. So this makhluk, okay, always interfere with us so that we actually get angry with Allah. Actually, if you think about it, everything has been determined. Okay, Allah has destined. Our destiny has been destined. Okay. So Allah has planned everything for us, and what we go through is sometimes it's called necessary for us to go through. Okay, and it gives us kesabaran. It gives us patience. It develops our patience. Okay, and if we think about Allah is most kind, most merciful. We should rely on Allah. This is my opinion. Okay, and if we can go back to Quran and Hadith, there are a lot of tips that you can pick up from there. So this is the thing that I've actually recorded some of the verses in the Quran that we can memorize or we can read, to calm yourself down. Sometimes it's good for us to actually put a stop. When your mind starts to become chaos, you think about things by yourself. There are techniques that you can stop, like say astaghfirullah, and quickly change your mindset immediately. But you need plans for this. So these are the things that I've been exploring about happiness since 1990s. Labo?
Since 1990s.
Yeah. How many years is that? 30? 20? 20 plus years, 30 years, isn't it? 20 plus years. So I've been searching about how to be happy. Mind you, it's not easy. But it needs practice. It needs practice, and it needs to, we have to know how to bounce back, etc., etc. So I'm thinking like maybe I can share this. That's why I'm conducting this course, Cari Ketenangan. And if you don't have money, you just register. You don't feel like paying, you don't have to. But if you want to sadaqah or infaq, you can do that as well. So I'm actually sharing these tips for you so that you don't get depressed, because Allah has determined everything. Surely we have to do ikhtiyar, right?
Yeah.
We have to work on how to improve our well-being. We have to work on how to improve our financial situations. We have to find ways to to control our finance, etc., etc. And of course, you need coach and friends. But I'm not coach. I'm just your friend. So if you treat me like friends, much better. Because if I say I'm a coach, that means I'm an expert. But to be honest with you, I'm not an expert. I'm an expert in engineering only, right? But I'm not an expert in every other thing. So I'm just sharing my information, and this technique that I have used on myself, it works for me. So why not I share these techniques to Labo? And you see again, Labo is still smiling, despite the hardship that he's facing in his business. He can come to work on Monday. Imagine that. I know it's not quite night yet. So yes, Labo, that's the story. I hope I can share with some of you. Just go to alfalahwealth.com. I'll put this the link. Okay.
In the description.
In the description, just visit our website and have a look at what we do. Click on the activities, click on some of the galleries. We've got some photos there, and hopefully you'll be confident with us. And as I said, I'm a student of life, so I can't really claim that I'm an expert in everything, really. I'm a student of life. I would like to share my experience as a student of life. That's what I'm trying to do, Labo.
I like what you said, like you must plan. Because sometimes when people don't have a plan, a proper plan, when they don't have the money, then they got stuck. That's why maybe the relationship also affected the family relations.
Yes.
So
I've shared with you sometimes, right, regarding how the rugby players have been training. Because I love rugby so much. I'm not a player. When I was in school, I played rugby, not as a team even. It's only for during PJ. Because I was pretty small. I can't kick the ball correctly anyway. But I played rugby, as a class in the class. Okay. So anyway, rugby training is very good. They have to predict what's going to happen. So we keep training to know how to expect. During the game, during the match. So we memorize certain steps, we memorize certain activities. So when something happens, we know how to react, right? I think the soccer players are doing the same thing. I'm not into soccer so much, but it must be the same thing.
Maybe.
So why don't we do the same thing with our lives, right? If we keep facing the same problems and we don't know how to get out, then you have to think about what's the best strategy. So in order for us to overcome that problem, it's best for us to plan for that. Okay, so for example, let's say you are unhappy with your situation. If you're a student, for example, if you're a student, right, you feel like studying is very hard. You don't know how to do it. And you just try to grasp some information, you just can't get hold of it. And if you keep forcing yourself, you got depressed. What you need to do is to actually step back and think about the whole scenario. What is it that you want in your life? These are something that you have to ask yourself. Sometimes you're not happy because you're doing something that you don't want. Right? Sometimes you're not happy because of that. So we have to plan for that kind of thing. Okay? And if, for example, we plan on how to study, what time you should study, that kind of thing, then you become more disciplined. And the moment that you study, you will not get easily distracted, and therefore you become more confident. And because you're more confident, you feel happier. And coupled with reading some of the du'as from what our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has shared with us, you read du'a, you do your ikhtiyar, you actually struggle, do your best, inshallah you'll go somewhere. You become better and better each day. So in our job, in our workplace here, we always aim to be better today than yesterday. So in other words, if we can get 1% improvement over 100 days, so we've got 100% improvement already, right? It's actually very much like investment. It's compounding. So these are the things that I'm trying to tell the young people. Don't give up on life. Get some friends to talk to. I've got some people who's actually called me up just to find out, yes, you can do that, because I've already shared some phone number. You can call me up. I'm actually open, easily accessible to the young people, and I try to share my information. Okay, I wouldn't say I'm guiding them, but I'm just like a friend. I would love to help the young people, because when I was young, I've got so many lecturers that helped me. My lecturers in, I'm talking about New Zealand. They help me a lot. They understand my problems and so forth. Well, not every lecturers are like that, but they treat the young people like adults. And this is something that I want to do. And this is why in my workplace, Labo can come in and out anytime he wants to come in. If he say he wants to come at 11, he'll just tell me he can come at 11. There's no problem. There's no punch card in our place. So that's what we're trying to do here. You know, we're actually having international standards, and our productivity is even higher. Do you know why? Because you come to work because you love to come to work.
Yep.
And you produce more than what you are actually targeting. You know, we use several methods like OKR method, we use project management and so forth, you know. So this is just what I can help the young people to plan your life. You know, maybe you're not happy at your workplace, you can just call us up, you know, and we'll discuss with you if you want. And if you've got enough people one day, maybe we can make a clinic once a week, you know, to help the young people to maneuver through their life, you know, based on our experience, inshallah. Hello.
Inshallah.
So that's a story from me, Labo.
Yeah, because of maybe the young people currently going on the tough situations because of inflation, because of the what we call any kinds of problems and challenges during this time. So maybe there are certain people not happy currently.
Yes.
So
that's interesting.
That's my what you call my concern about my friends, about because of the current young people right now is the what we call pelapis.
Right. Next future generation.
Yeah, future generation. If we are not happy,
future leaders.
Yes. So that's the main thing.
Right.
Because sometimes when we talk about current situations, the young people not aware about these things.
Yes.
So our job is to tell people what we
that's correct. So we're trying to help the young people as much as we can. And we are very open, aren't we? Okay. We don't have any costs that's charging courses charging more than 100 ringgit even, you know. We don't have any hidden agenda as such. Well, if you say we don't have agenda, it's quite wrong, because we also have our agenda. You know, our agenda is mainly to help you to look back at Quran and Hadith. This is our main thing. And if you run a business, you run a business like socialpreneur. Okay, you work for the sake of Allah. You run business for the sake of Allah. This is what we're trying to emphasize here. And because of that, you can actually become a quality person. You know, your job becomes so much better. You produce more. You read more. You learn more, etc., etc. You know, so that's what we're trying to do.
So maybe that's my question for today.
Okay.
So thank you for today's session.
Thank you so much, Labo. I really appreciate.
So we are discussing about the economy.
You asking me to come here today. I mean, this is amazing. I don't mind coming here at all on Monday. We're supposed to be holiday. Basically, we enjoy our holiday sometimes. You know, coming to work. And I know some of you might think we're crazy, but we really like what we do. Basically, yes.
Yeah, we just share our opinions, our knowledge.
Yes,
that we are reading.
So did you smell camel yesterday?
No.
Camels here for Qatar.
Not yet.
Right.
Maybe before yesterday, I saw many cows in front of my house. So I thought that one is
to be slaughtered.
Okay. So actually that one is other people's. They just come. The cow is just coming and eat in front of my house. So maybe this year my surau I think don't have like.
Okay. So they don't do any korban this year. Okay.
So that's it. Okay
guys, so thank you so much for your time, really appreciate it. So I hope to see you next week again, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.